Hello, this is Yarrow, and welcome to Tuesday's episode this week of the Yarrow podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. Last night, I did something that I was just absolutely loving, but it actually resulted in me wondering whether I'm ultimately distracting myself with AI and not focusing on things that move my companies forward. Let me explain. So I'm planning to run a 5-day challenge, a marketing event basically, to help people make use of my new tool, Patrick AI, which is a voice to content creation tool. I'm using it right now to publish this content. And I'm fully invested in just evolving Patrick as AI becomes better, more functions and features are available to me, especially voice AI. And it's my company experiment, basically, a place where I can play with the options, use it myself to market my actual profiting companies, my agency and my coaching business, with the hope that Patrick does become a profitable business too. But because AI is so dynamic, I'm just not sure where product market fit is going to come from. So it's mostly focused on scratching my own itch in the hope that I'll also do that for people in my audience and maybe beyond that too. And I've already seen a few people start to use it, which has been just very satisfying to see. So I'd love for you to try Patrick AI too. Just head to Patrick, PATRIC.ai. Now, Patrick is a combination of a vibe-coded front-end website and I won't say vibe coded, but it's certainly been put together by my engineer Alice, and a lot of coding tools like Claude Code and different AI powered functionality has been pushed together to make a viable MVP, and it's been working now for a good month. I've been publishing many of these episodes entirely using it, so I'm very happy with where it's at, and I'd like to keep growing. And it's amazing what we can do with these tools. Now, I predominantly did most of the front-end design work using Replit, which is a AI-powered design tool and app building tool. But I mostly just did what you would call flat website designs, HTML and style sheets and so on, graphics and text. And that alone has been amazing. To be able to build the Patrick website and modify it so easily myself has been incredible. And I've gone on to use Replit to do landing pages for my coaching program, for some lead magnets for my agency as well. It's just been a great, useful tool for rapid website creation. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm planning on doing a challenge to introduce more people to Patrick and just show them, how to get the most out of it, with the hope that some people will make it part of their daily workflow for content, as it is for me at the moment. And to do a challenge, it's pretty simple. You have people join the challenge, then there's some kind of daily video training, usually a task, an activity, and a forum-like chat to ask questions, get feedback, and most importantly, share the results of you doing the activity. So there's some sort of public demonstration of all these people together using Patrick and showing what they're doing with it. So I'm excited to do that, but I haven't run a challenge in a long time, and I wasn't sure which platform to use. And I knew I could probably find something online that does it, either as the core functionality or maybe a side function, like it designs landing pages that are capable of running a challenge. I did my research mostly with AI, again, Ask Gemini, and I went through a lot of the options, and most of them were just either not giving me like an easy solution, or it wasn't the main thing they did, and I would be basically signing up for a tool I'd barely use. So I was like, I'm sure I can just build this myself with Replit, and it's often for me it's late at night when I experiment with the AI tools. So last night I just said, what, I'm just going to see if Replit can do this. So I sat down in planning mode. So there's two modes with Replit. There's the mode where you actually build, and there's a mode where you plan to see if it can do and understand what you want to do. And given this was a bit more complicated, I used planning mode. And I just mapped out. So I want to have a login, and I want to be able to control my challenges as an admin, and define a number of days. And then I needed some basic forms to fill out where I put the video, I put the description, I put the activity task, and there's some way for people to interact through a threaded forum type experience. And in this case, I was a little bit sneaky, typical entrepreneur. I said, just in case this is actually really useful for me, I'd probably turn this into something I would want to sell and give away for free to my audience. So I also told Replit that I want this to be a tool that anyone can use. So there needs to be like an admin login, a page where people can sign up to use it to create their own challenges. So there's kind of like two entry points. There's just the running of the challenge where you send it to your people, they sign up for the challenge, they experience the challenge, delivers this content over 5 days. The content's unlocked each day. It can plug into your email autoresponder, all these things, not complicated, but definitely more than just a basic website. And then there was the admin panel where I could create new challenges, configure the challenges, add the videos, the descriptions, and so on. So I gave it all these instructions and it went to work. I'd say within 10 minutes, it had returned to me 1.0 version, which included a landing page to basically sell this tool, or at least set it up so that you can sign up as a challenge creator. And then there was the admin for creating challenges and configuring them. And then there was the actual experience for the people who go through the challenge. So a login to participate in the challenge and then see, the videos released and so on. And it was like 80% there. So I then spent probably the next, 3 hours before I went to bed, just adding features, tweaking the way it presented certain things. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just have this available as a free service, but a pro tier that I can charge money for as well. So I said, let's give everyone one free challenge, but if you want to run more than one, it's going to be like $5 a month or $50 a year. Start low. You can always, increase price later as more features are made available. So I basically just, this is what I love about Replit. I just tell it, hey, I want to charge money for this. I want to have a $5 a month and a $50 a year plan, and it's going to give them one free challenge. But if they want to run that challenge a second time or add new different challenges, you have to upgrade to Pro. So make sure it does that. And that's it. I just tell it that. I don't tell it like how to implement it, but just that's what I wanted to do. It goes away. 10 minutes later, it's set up essentially a pricing page, a upgrade process. I have to connect that to Stripe, and it's added a Pro buttons to upload to Pro, warning if you are trying to do something that's beyond the basic plan. And I play with it and I go, this is good, couple of changes, and I connect my Stripe. Stripe probably took actually more complicated steps than Replit. I almost wish I could just tell Stripe, make this work, and we like the way I do with Replit. And it was ready to go. And I liked it so much, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to use this and give it away for free as a great tool for lead magnet as a bare minimum. Maybe you could make some money. So let's just get it all ready with a domain name. So I then spent, this for me is always fun and frustrating. I spent about an hour going through all the different domain names that I could use for it. Replit had called it from literally day one. I didn't even tell it to do this, but it called it ChallengeHub. And for the life of me, at least in the hour that I was doing research, I couldn't come up with a name that had an available domain name that I liked better than that. And I decided to run with ChallengeHub. I was able to get challengehub.co. Of course, the .com was not available, but that was close enough for this little quick side project. And you can go check it out right now. Just go to challengehub.co. Now it's buggy. I would not be fully promoting this yet. I need to work on especially the login process and do a proper beta test run myself. So don't give me money for this, but feel free to try the free version. But I share this because look what I created in one night. I went from having my own need to building essentially a SaaS tool in one evening. That I don't know if this will ever have product market fit or become a real business. But it's certainly something that I can just give to my audience and say, hey, tell me what you think. And if there's traction there, I'll put more time into it and I'll make it better and I'll add more features and see where it goes. And that's what I'm loving about tools like Replit, that as an entrepreneur allow you to take many shots on goal really quickly. The problem with this is every time you create something, there's a key component of any kind of business that is not something you can just AI away and solve the problem with, which is getting customers, which is not even just getting customers, getting attention, getting traffic, getting eyeballs to your offer. That's the hard part. That's the part that takes time. And you really want to get to the point where if you're going to run serious campaigns that cost money, that you've already done a lot of work on your MVP, because you don't want to waste time sending people to what I have right now, something that might be a little buggy, not exactly full of all the necessary features. The core features are there. Who knows? Maybe that's all people would want for $5 a month. They don't expect much. But I wouldn't say switch my entire focus now to going out there and promoting this new little app I built. I would if suddenly 100 people just signed up and said they want to use it. I'd be like, okay, that's a good sign. So on one level, I'm very excited with how quickly I can build something just as a means to solve my own problems, possibly as a means to create new projects that I can quickly either use as lead magnets to grow my audience or to even charge money for and become a business. But on the other side, it's creating such a low barrier to entry. And I'm not even talking about competition. Like anyone can go and tell Replit to build what I just built. But it's also creating this sense of distraction. As an entrepreneur, you only have so much time and energy. So I'm trying to tell myself I can't go and promote every single thing I'm building. It's just not, I don't have the time or the resources to do that. I have an operating agency, which has to be my main thing that I work on. Thankfully, I have a team there that helps. So I don't have this worry that we're not doing anything. I guide the team. I make some decisions. I do some of the actions myself, but a lot of the day-to-day in terms of what we do to market the business is done by the team. And then I have my coaching business and my new AI tool, Patrick. They're interlinked. I use the tool to promote the coaching. It's kind of like this flywheel that I'm trying to build up. I'm still trying to figure out what is the best traffic methodology here beyond what I'm already doing, but at least I have a workflow that kind of ticks a lot of boxes. I get to refine and fix bugs as I use the tool, and it actually works to promote my coaching. For example, if you want me as a coach, I'm going to say this on most of my audios now, and it's going to go out on all my social media. Just head to insidegrowth.com. I would love to help you figure out what are the best AI tools to grow your business, plan your content marketing strategy to grow your business, figure out what is the best activity action, what's the constraint holding you back, what is the overall strategy, what's your goal, how do I help you get there. So I might be the right fit for you. I'm especially looking to help people who are already making at least $10,000 a month get to the point where you're doing $100,000 a month. That's a big milestone and life-changing money, and I've done that. I hit a lot of roadblocks along the way, so I feel very capable to coach people how to do that. I've done it with 2 business models, an education business and an agency. So I know how hard it is, and I know the world is changing a lot. So I feel like I can certainly help you from a strategic point of view as a coach. So go to insidegrowth.com. There's my call to action. So hopefully I'll get a few more coaching clients just by the nature of me sharing what I'm doing, what I'm learning, what's working for me. And I'm doing that using my tool. And I'm also just building my brand and my presence online using this tool. So there's a nice synergy there. Meanwhile, of course, the real learnings in terms of real results I get are also coming from my agency. Things I can talk about there as I work with clients and do sales calls, and we make strategic decisions on how to grow our company. So there's a nice connection. But if I suddenly throw in this new thing, ChallengeHub.co, I have to go and market it. I have to make it better. And every minute I spend doing that is a minute I'm not actually working on whatever parts of those flywheels in my core business that I should be working on. So right now, the way I kind of pull myself back is I go, let's make sure whatever you build is something you're going to use in that core flywheel. So ChallengeHub will be used to run the challenge that I promote Patrick with. So it solves a problem. I think it cost me $100 to basically build it and buy the domain name. Like that's in token usage for Replit. So $100, that's definitely worth it for a solution that I can now use and even give away for free as a bare minimum for a lead magnet. So that I feel is good, but I'm trying to pull myself back from going all in and, I'm going to promote this new thing. And part of that is because, we're looking for traction. We're always looking for that signs of product market fit. And that's the thing you then want to double down on. So I'm in that kind of phase where I am looking for my next big thing for the next 10 years that I want to work on. So that's why I'm kind of trying to throw out there things I'm building to solve my own problems that might turn out to be things that other people want to actually use and pay for, like Patrick, and even now I can say like ChallengeHub as well. AI is just making it so much easier, and that's, like I said, an amazing benefit, but also a risk, and you've got to be strategic with what you're doing and how you use it. Okay, hope that was helpful. Keep experimenting with AI. At the very least, you stay top of the curve. You know the capabilities. You think of how you can apply it to your own business. I do that every night. I kind of do my main work, my content production, my team work, my growth work during the day. And at night, when I'm sitting on the couch with my fiance and the puppies, we'll be watching a show in the background, and I'll be playing with Replit or another AI tool, which no doubt I will talk to you about on one of these Yarrow podcasts. Okay, again, you can hire me as a coach at insidegrowth.com. If you're not sure and want to study more of my content marketing advice, go to insidegrowth.com/content and get my free guide on what AI tools I'm using for content marketing right now. And you've heard me mention a lot of other things in this episode: patrick.ai, challengehub.co. You can check it all out. Love any feedback. Love for you to use Patrick. I wouldn't dive too deep into ChallengeHub just yet. Still a bit buggy. Still working on it. But patrick.ai is definitely good to go. You can run with that and see what it does. And I'd love to see you use it. Okay, that's it. My name is Yarrow. I will speak to you again very soon. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.